Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Rex.
We've got bad news.
Do we?
Prepare to be emotionally battered.
Oh.
Brett Redding.
Brett Redding. Let me see.
He's getting up there.
Are you magnificent?
He's within one whiskey of being a patron
Brett
saint.
Redding. You magnificent bastard. That was dramatic.
So, Brett, I got sad news, my friend.
Hello. Wait. We got the whiskey.
No, we got that whiskey. He
Right.
sent 5 things. Only 3 made it. I know.
What the
So
hell?
he also remember we loved Bender's Rye. We reviewed Bender's Rye and thought it was really great.
Hold on. This needs to land.
You need a breath. You need a moment.
I need a moment.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a moment. This is for you too, Brett.
A moment of silence for the fallen.
You're in groaning. There's no silence involved.
All right, what'd we lose?
So, Brett, remember we reviewed Bender's and we dug it,
Yeah.
right? So,
What are these?
he thought it would be interesting if we did a comparison between the Bender's we loved
Yeah.
and the new batch of Bender's,
Sure.
right? And he actually emailed Bender the distillery,
Okay.
and they emailed back, "Hey, thanks for emailing. Batch 5 is the latest one we released. This one has 60% 5-year rye,
Yeah.
30% 9-year corn, and 10% 8-year corn."
Okay.
Right?
So that's right.
The batch we reviewed had 8% less corn.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
So he said, "I'm excited someone noticed the difference between the two," because Brett said he noticed the difference.
Right.
And so Brett,
I gotta tell you right now.
No, Brett bought
here's
the
the
new
thing.
one.
I'm circling the drain, man. I'm devastated.
I know.
I need you to artificially bring energy into this process.
I'm working on it. I gotta learn how
because
to
I'm
open the
dying
bottle.
on the inside right now.
So Brett, he sent us 2 samples of the new Bender's in small bottles.
And they didn't make
They did not make it, my friend.
Well, hold on.
Both
Hold on.
of them had around 1/4 of an ounce left in their containers.
Right.
And the package was soaking wet.
Okay. But
And smelled a lot like Bender's whiskey.
I'm looking for a silver lining. How small were the bottles?
They were small.
Like teeny tiny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably 20 milliliter samples. Oh, 50. He sent 50 milliliter
No,
samples.
5 milliliters. Tell me 5.
Yeah, they were about this big.
No, just smaller. Like just
Yeah, he sent basically like 4 drops from a plunger.
Still hurts.
Yeah,
but I can sleep at night
Yeah.
now. That
Anyway,
it was just an
so dude, we
eyedropper.
can't compare them. I'm
Alright.
so sorry.
Yeah.
But he also sent this. Now,
Well,
this is an Alexander Murray product.
Paulie's casks.
Yes. So, here's what happened. The owners of Firestone, now here's what's funny. I lived in the central coast of California for 8 years, and Firestone, that's where they're from. They're from southern central California.
Right.
And the central coast, what everyone refers to as the central coast. The owners of Firestone,
Should I open these?
no, we need to let those sit. The owners of Firestone were having dinner with the owner of Alexander Murray.
Right.
Remember Murray?
Are they the same?
Trader Joe's, Costco, all of the whiskeys that are sourced from Scotland and then bottled down.
Right.
Okay.
This is barley wine ale.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Don't open them.
All right.
Are you hearing me? Alexander Murray.
Yeah, the 40.
Trader Joe's, Costco.
The 40%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were having dinner with Firestone people.
Okay.
And they said, "Hey, what would happen if we aged a Highland single malt in Firestone pale ale barrels?" Or not pale ale, but Firestone ale barrels. And because the owners of both companies were there, they're like, "Let's just do it. We don't have to ask permission.
Right.
We're all here." And so it was named Paulie's cask because Paulie is the name of the, where's my sheet? Is the name of the Firestone, the lady in charge of the Firestone side of things. So their double barrel ale is in Central Coast, sort of, like, you know, in Texas we have Shiner, and
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Sure.
In Central Coast, they have Firestone double barrel ale.
Okay.
That's the local go-to. I'd never heard of it until I lived there, and then no matter where you go, they've got Firestone double barrel, right? So this is supposedly a 10-year-old Highland single malt, finished in the Firestone Walker double barrel casks. And it really smells like it, actually.
Man,
This is super yeast heavy.
this is as drinkable as water for me.
You ever, well, they also proofed it down to 40%.
I know, it's Alexander
freaking Murray. You guys, come on.
Well, but here's the thing. I've had a lot of other 40% whiskeys that aren't as just dolphin smooth.
Now, I said
this.
10-year-old Highland malt. I'm not actually sure it's a 10-year-old Highland malt. I was remembering a picture of something else I saw while I was researching, so I have no idea how old this Highland single malt is.
I almost had...
Correction in the video.
So
I know, right?
this is what I had a thought process. Daniel's been talking for so long. I'm going to have a dramatic moment of protest where I'm going to throw down this entire whiskey. And then I thought, wait a minute, that's a lot of whiskey. I can't drink all that in one shot. I sipped it. Yes, I could.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, this would go down like...
There's a little bit of a bite there, though.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you drinking, man? This is... Like, I've had apple juice that goes down harder than this.
I'm trying to picture you drinking apple juice and being like, yeah!
Put hair on your chest.
That's a good year.
Now, what bite are you getting? It's
I'm going to try it again. Hang on a second.
SSDD. After watching this video, I decided to pick up a bottle of Angel's Envy bourbon. Paid $48 for it. I was shocked it was much less than the $80 to $100 you mentioned, which was great for me. Thanks for the video. Local prices, man. That's why every time...
No, that's actually not true. I got it wrong.
Oh, you got it wrong.
This was called Daniel getting it wrong.
Oh.
So here's what actually happened.
Hold on a second. I just assume you get things wrong.
I quoted it at $100.
I assume you get things wrong. Local prices vary a lot.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But on this question, I was wrong. So here's something you need to know about our show. We regularly get things totally wrong. But we have a rule, which is we don't edit out mistakes.
Yeah.
We will correct mistakes in the comments.
In the description below.
When they're brought up.
Right.
So when you see us pronouncing something wrong, saying something is from Ireland when it's actually from Scotland.
Pronunciations most of the time are intentional.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. So what you don't know about Texans, and most people don't get this about Texas, Texans sort of have this inside joke about mispronouncing things that they sort of do with pride.
Right.
This is not rare, right? In Austin alone, where you have people very serious about things, we have streets and rivers like Guadalupe, which we pronounce
Guadalupe.
Yep. We have a town and a road called Manchac that if you pronounced it correctly...
Manchaca.
Right? Now, a few videos back, I hassled Blanco, Texas, and I totally insisted that it was Blanco. It's actually Blanco. If you go to Blanco and say Blanco, they will run you out of town on the rails. I did that absolutely on purpose to troll an entire city.
Chris Dumas. So I realized that while watching these fools over the course of more than 150 videos.
Yeah, you watched all 150.
I am watching the younger versions of Statler and Waldorf.
Yes.
It's up to you which one.
I've been waiting for a year.
These are the Muppet guys.
To people to realize that we're Statler and Waldorf.
I was just glad that people started, unprompted, calling me the Big Lebowski. Because I told you this.
You were working at it.
No, I told you like off camera. So
Yeah.
I know when I will have arrived whenever people start making Lebowski jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was the goal. That was the goal back when Rex had it high and tight. He was all trimmed up and professional looking.
And then there's like some guys on the property, some coworkers, and they started making this joke saying, get out of California, get out of LA, Lebowski. They shouted across the parking lot. Little do they know, it's like, that's what I'm going
It's
for.
basically verbal affirmation.
Yeah.
It's Rex's love language.
So, we're how many minutes into this?
And we haven't truly given a review of...
You've said f*** all about this whiskey.
No. I started off saying, okay, so here's my review. Ready?
About the actual experience,
Yes,
the
Paulie's.
experience in the bottle.
Yes. To me, there's a slightly yeast-heavy note in the nose. Mm-hmm. It's sort of this sour, fresh bread, baking kind of deal.
I can buy that.
And it's sharp. It's not friendly. It's grain heavy.
Really?
Right? It's sharp. And then as I start to drink it, it switches into more of a...
I'm just tougher than you.
It's possible. Okay, so on the taste, that's where the double barrel ale shows up.
You mentioned bite, and for me, this is so smooth and watery and
I get that
nondescript.
So the bite for me was bitterness.
There's no character.
Yeah, the bite for me was bitterness. This is simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not complex. It's not wide. It's thin tasting. It's not bad.
So no, it's not.
It's just sort of boring.
Not bad. It's the background whiskey.
Let's put it this way: the Glenfiddich IPA is actually a far superior.
Glenfiddich IPA.
Yeah, and I have it, and also there's another IPA finish whiskey.
IPA.
There's a Jameson Caskmates IPA instead of stout finish, which we don't have right now. But anyway,
I don't know how I feel.
I feel like if this was a higher proof, like all Alexander Murray products, anytime they get a little bit higher proof, it starts to become a more interesting whiskey.
Yeah, let you make more money at 40%.
You make more money at 40%.
Pat McDermott. While I understand the attraction of the Glencairn glass for nosing and sampling whiskey, what about for drinking whiskey? I really like a good heavy tumbler. Am I missing something, or is the best glass one the one that has whiskey in it?
No, you're not missing something. That's absolutely the right answer.
Yeah.
Now, if you're trying to analyze a whiskey, a glass that's tulip shaped is going to be more helpful and show you more of the whiskey.
Even on the sip.
Now, yes, even on the sip.
Yeah.
Now, if all you're doing is just sitting around drinking a whiskey, I am a sucker for the feel of a glass. And all the time, I will choose another glass over a Glencairn if I like the way it feels. Now, I don't particularly like the big, bulky, heavy old-fashioned glasses.
Sure.
But I get the weight as a thing.
Sure.
Right?
We actually did a glass episode.
We did, yeah.
It's up here.
Now, I actually, what I really love is I found in a antique shop in Lockhart, Texas, I found a crystal cut glass that's halfway between a shot glass and an old-fashioned glass.
Okay.
In size. So it's not as small as a shot glass, but it's not as big as old-fashioned. It's cut crystal. It's about this tall, about that big around. It's heavy. It's my favorite glass to drink out of, bar none. Because it just feels like a combination of weight and slightly fancy.
Like you could knock out a clown.
Oh yeah, you could take a man down with that thing, yeah. And so I get it. You're not wrong. Now, when I'm trying to understand whiskey, Glencairns are my go-to.
Fair enough.
All right. You done?
Sure, why not?
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
You fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal lover's heart.
If you drink,
may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.